Welcome back. All right, so news of the day video at the end of the night. Again, I was watching the Sweden game against Slovakia, so here's the news video now after that is done. And I didn't put who was put on the list and who wasn't put on the list today because it's a lot. It really is. It's like half the Nashville Predators came off the list and the other half went onto the list. So, like, yeah, we got all those guys back and all those other guys go in. And that's, yeah, it's kind of where we're at. I think the NHL is looking at going, all right, it's going to go through all the teams. We're gonna get through this. So on the injury news, there are some players who could be coming back, and maybe these delayed games won't be too bad for some fans. There may be some team fans that say, it sucks that those games got postponed, but then we had fewer games without key players. So for Vegas, Haig is seen as good to go. He was a full participant in practice today. Then there's the game time decisions. Leonard, who was supposed to be day-to-day, remember? And then he has about a week off, so it's got to be good. No, he's considered a game time decision tomorrow, as well as both Pacioretty and Stone. So the good news is neither Pacioretty or Stone are supposed to be out for a long while. The bad news is both of them are game time decisions for tomorrow's game. Braden Point may return tomorrow as well. So hockey comes back tomorrow. Looks like we still have 3 games for tomorrow, but again, let me just double check that. Tuesday, 1, 2. Yeah, it's 3. 1 at 4 o'clock and 2 at 7:30. So that's fun. I could actually probably review the 4 o'clock game. No, I don't think I'll review that on its own. Then maybe a little bit. Maybe. We'll see how the start time is for the other 2 games. And if they sync up their intermissions, if they do, I may be able to do that one on its own, which is Montreal and Tampa. So yeah, Braden Point may return tomorrow against Montreal. So good news for Tampa, not great news for Montreal. Kucherov, not considered to be at full speed yet, not ready yet. However, he was on the second line at practice, so he's getting closer. So Tampa Bay, who have been one of the best teams in the league throughout this season, now they're going to get Point and soon Kucherov back. So that's good news, right? That's considered to be good news. Good news for the state rival out of Florida as well, in that Sasha Barkov is seen as ready to return. And having Barkov out, I think, has hurt Florida overall. I know there's been a lot of talk about how the team has looked under Quenneville, and I can't deny that it's definitely seems to have had an effect, but not having Barkov in the lineup for an extended period, I think, hurts them as well. So we'll see when Barkov comes back if the record starts getting better after that. Also on the injury front news, both Malkin and Rust were practicing and full participants today. Both, playing around with Crosby. So while neither of them are seen as being 100% ready for the next game for Pittsburgh, they may be back sooner than was expected. Malkin is a little bit ahead. And this again is where, Pittsburgh having a bunch of games postponed may look bad at the time, but if you get Malkin and Rust back for their next game, or say one game after their next game, suddenly all those postponed games, you may have Malkin and Rust for both, which will completely alter an attack for a team that's been really hot over the last few weeks. So as their schedule starts to get tougher, they may be a tougher team to beat because they'll be healthier. Good news for Oiler fans too. Mike Smith may return from injury during this road trip that they're going to be on. So for the Edmonton Oilers, Koskinen, and going back to the advanced stats video I did today, talking about expected goals against, Koskinen's a little bit below 0 on that, so there's more. It's not a huge number, but there are more goals going in than expected on a goaltender in that one. So Smith coming back could be a huge boost for the Edmonton Oilers. And the Oilers seem to be turning it around just before we paused everything and players had an extended Christmas break, which, let's be honest, I think an extended Christmas break makes a lot of sense. I've always thought a 3-day break for Christmas really isn't much of a break for hockey players, and I've always thought, if they gave them a full week off. But anyways, so Smith returning could be huge for them. And then the bad news, and the reason I'm wearing a Seattle jersey, Brandon Tanev, an ACL injury, ends his season. So that's it for Brandon Tanev. And it's too bad because, Tanev is an energy guy who also was scoring goals for Seattle and looked like he was really fitting in well. He was really enjoying himself. So for Seattle, they're going to have to find that energy elsewhere in the lineup. They're going to have to find those goals elsewhere in the lineup. And it's a real kick on a team that has had some issues this year when it comes to winning games, and they stay close, but they just don't win those games. And then there's 3 more postponements since this morning. The Chicago Blackhawks, who had a bunch of players go on the list, so it doesn't surprise me that the game they're playing on Wednesday has been delayed. The Wednesday game between Dallas and Colorado, as well as the Friday game, has been delayed too. I know Dallas has a bunch of guys that went on the list. Colorado, I think, still has a few. Again, I could do a video every day on who is on the protocol list, but it would just be, at this point, kind of ridiculous, and it would turn into white noise. So at this point, I'll talk about postponements and who is or isn't on the protocol list. I may throw that into the reviews, where it's this team's without a coach, this team is missing a couple of big key guys for this game. But outside of that, again, it's just there's so many. And we have to be up to, 200 players that have been on the protocol list? It has to be around 200 players now, because it feels like there was 35 or something that went on today. It's insane, and there was over 40 yesterday. So it's just the reality for now. The NHL will get through this, and I don't think it's going to take that long. I think it's going to take a few weeks, and then we'll be just rolling again. But, to get from here to there, could be a bit of a trial for some of these teams. So I'm hoping for the best. I've got my fingers crossed on this. Game's coming back tomorrow, which is why I'm doing the news video before turning in for tonight, because I have the preview tomorrow morning, and then more news should be coming out from there, and other video goodness that will be done before those 3 games are played tomorrow night. So thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Let me know in the comment section below your feelings on any of these injury items, whether they're good, whether they're bad. And yeah, it's all injury and postponement stuff, so apologies for that. I hope the GMs coming out of this break and with everything else that's going on, that they can figure out trades. We need some trades. We need something like that. I think there's some teams that need trades as well. Sometimes a team needs a bit of a change in the locker room, just to shake up, and a trade can help. So anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. I will talk to you again soon.